Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do a video kind of on the series I want to focus on this year. I read a lot of series, and I don't read them consistently. So last year I didn't do so hot. I'm still in the middle of doing all my stats. But I do know that I did not make much progress in any of my series that I was in the middle of. Because I did a lot of reading of a lot of other things this year. And I started a lot of series. Anyway, so what I'm hoping to do this is I'm going to give 4 to 5 examples of books, the series I want to complete this year, series that I want to continue in this year, and series I want to start this year. Because there's no way I'm not going to start new series. This is just never going to happen for me. And I have too many first books of series. So there's going to be a lot of that. I'm still going to try to do chapter tags on the urban fantasy and paranormal romance books that I have, because I have, you know, easily 30 first books in series that I'm going to try. So I need to get through some of those. I only did 2 last year, so I'm hoping to do more this year. But these are the series that the first ones are going to be ones that I've already read a book of or read part of the series. And then the last 5 are ones that I have books of that they're on my list to hit this year. We'll see how this goes. And then maybe I can see at the end of the year how I did. Not sure on that. So the series that I would like to finish, I have 2 of them that are the last book in trilogies. And I don't know why I haven't just read them. So the first one is The Future Falls by Tanya Hoff. This is the 3rd book in the Emporium. The Enchantment Emporium trilogy. So I read the first 2. I liked the first one really well. The second one I liked. It just went in weird directions, and I think this one's going to go in another weird direction. So it just continues on with family members that started and has to do with magic in the world where not everybody knows about it, but people meet other people who have magic and stuff, and it's kind of weird. It's just a little like urban fantasy, and again, I've had this on my shelf since it came out in paperback. So 2014 it came out. 2015 is when I bought this book. It's still on my shelf. It's the last book in the trilogy. I understand it's only a trilogy. I hope so. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure there's only one more book, so I want to finish that one out. I also have a Tad Williams I have not read. I haven't finished the Bobby Dollar trilogy. So I have Sleeping Late on Judgment Day, which is book 3. And the reason, again, is I read book 1 and 2 as they came out. And book 3 came out, and this might even be in that same time period. Yeah, this came out in September 15 in paperback. So this has also been on my shelf for over 4 years. So I need to finish this one as well. This is an urban fantasy following an angel and other characters like demons and other things they're funny. Anyway, and the politics and the people who are corruption, and I don't know why I haven't finished this story. There's also a short like epilogue kind of short story that goes after this too. I have that in my Kindle app. I just haven't read that either because I need to finish this book. So I'm hoping to finish both of those series this year, because again, I've had the books both for 4 years. That sucks. Anyway, and then another series I want to finish is the Hidden Legacy series by Ilona Andrews. I read book 1 when it first came out, and then we had to wait 3 years for book 2 and 3 to come out. And now I reread book 1 back in, I think, April of 2019. And I need to continue and finish the series. So I had book 2 and 3. I want to read them both. These covers suck. Don't look at that. But this is a great another urban fantasy with magic in the world, and it has a romance in it, but I would still classify this closer to an urban fantasy. It does follow the main character, Nevada, more than any, it follows her perspective. So to me, that becomes an urban fantasy. But there's a romance line in there. But there's a lot of backstabbing and power struggles, and it's just. So anyway, I need to finish this series. There is a spin-off series to this that I have the first book. I have an ebook in the middle, and then I have the next book in the series, and I think another one's coming out this summer. So I want to catch up to at least read the 2 books that I'm not finished in the Hidden Legacy, and then I want to read the ebook, and then hopefully start the next set of trilogies that follows a different character. That's her this character's sister. So we'll see. But I'm gonna count the 2 books and the in-between books. So I want to read that. And then the other book I want to finish, series I want to finish, is the Custard Protocol by Gail Carriger. I have read Prudence. Prudence is the first one. I read this when it first came out. And then I just picked up the other books as they've come out, and I've not read them. So the first book came out, I think, also. Oh, I had it signed because I saw her. Let's see here. This one, again, 2015. I'm sensing a pattern here. Anyway, so so I have the first book. I did read this, but I have 3 books left in the protocol, the Custard Protocol series, and then 2 novellas that I'm getting in the mail any day. Anyway, that I just never got around to reading. I didn't buy I think I might have bought the ebooks of those, and I just haven't read them yet. So I do want to finish this series and finish out Gail Carriger's world. I just feel like I'm behind. I've had them all. I don't know what my problem is. I just need to finish that. So anyway, so I want to finish those. So those are the ones I want to finish, or at least get to the end of the trilogies, or finish that, get that done. So those are kind of those ones I want to do. So these next 5 are ones I want to make progress in. I don't expect to finish any of these because there's too many books, but I definitely want to make progress in them. So the first one is Simon R. Green series, which I do not know why. I've only read this first book, The Man with the Golden Torque. This is the Secret Histories series. There are 12 books altogether right now, and I've only read number 1. And it's slightly connected to his John Taylor or the Nightside series. It's kind of like the same kind of worldish kind of things, but this goes off into, these are much more bigger. Which is probably why I put them off, because I love Simon R. Green and short novels. So I did like this book when I read it when it first came out, because I've had this book forever. So I probably got it in 2008. So yeah, I probably read it around 2008, 2009. And I have never picked up the rest of them. So my goal is to pick up a few of these this year. I do have this one on audiobook, so I might listen to it as a reread and then continue on reading the other ones. Because I have up to 10. I haven't bought the last couple because I kind of stopped myself because I'm like, you're not reading them. So I need to read them and decide if I want to continue with the series. I did like this book. Again, urban fantasy, secret side of, like there's aliens and other things and creatures of all sorts. It's just great urban fantasy. Okay, noticing a theme here, right? Another series I would like to catch up on is the Mackenzie's McBride series by Jennifer Ashley. I have read, I've read up to like 9. I don't remember. I'm probably not going to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've read 7 novels, 9. I've 8 novels, and then I've read a lot of novellas. So I have at least 4 more books, this one and 3 other ones, that I haven't read. And I just want to get through them. These ones actually go back even farther into history. So like this is like a departure from the rest of the series because it's following certain families in the late 1880s and 90s. And then this all of a sudden we go back to 1745. So probably why I paused here at this one, because it changes. But I do want to read about this because it's like the earlier Mackenzies. So anyway, I do want to read about them. Anyway, so I have, as I said, I have 4 books in the series that I haven't read. I would like to catch up if possible. If not, just read a couple of them and get closer. I don't know. I also want to get back to the Peter Grant series by Ben Aronovich. This is book 4, Broken Homes. I've read the first 3. That's it. There's like 7 books out right now. I think the 8th one is supposed to come out next year. I also have like 3 graphic novels, and I think there's more out than I own because I stopped buying them because I have to get past book 4 or 5. I can't remember where I have to get to before I can even read them, so I stopped collecting those. So again, I have 4 books that I can read. I physically only own 3 of them, but because the 4th one I haven't gotten. Then there's a couple of novellas in between, which I'll probably get as well. So there's quite a bit to read still in this series, as well as the graphic novels. This is again Peter Grant, and he is a police officer who is assigned to kind of to the other, well, you know, like unnatural things. I don't remember what the department's called anymore, but he, so the first book is he goes to a murder site and he talks to somebody, like gets some information, and then it turns out that that person was a ghost that he talked to. So it kind of, he gets thrown kind of into this different side of London, and it's really an awesome concept of the rivers and everything. Because the first book is called Midnight Riot, or Rivers of London, which I love the name Rivers of London better, but ours was Midnight Riot here in the US, but whatever. Anyway, great series. Again, I read 3 books. I really enjoyed them. I just have not gotten back to them, so I want to make some progress in that series. Another one that almost nobody I've seen talk about on BookTube, but one I really want to get back to, is the Destroyerman series by Taylor Anderson. This one I read up to book 4. Actually, I reread those as well a couple of years ago, because I really wanted to continue on, and I haven't. This is book 5, Rising Tides. This is my next book, so I'm probably going to jump into here and just pray for the best, because again, I've reread the first 4. I've read it, you know, read them and then reread them, so I just need to continue on. There are 12 books out right now on this. No, 14. Oh my gosh. So I have like 10 books to read. I probably own most of them. I don't own the last 2, I don't think. I think, again, it's like with the Druid series, or the Secret History series, I stopped buying them a couple of years ago when I knew I wasn't reading them. Of course, it took me, you know, years to stop. Anyway, so I'm hoping to get to this one. This one is an alternate universe one, or alternate history one, where in 1945, during a battle in the Sea of Java, some kind of thing happened, and a couple of ships from both the Japanese as well as the American forces, and there might be one other country, I can't remember, their ships got sent to this this alternate world where the different creatures evolved, not, I mean, as in like dinosaur-ish kind of things, and they gain intelligence, and there's other creatures or other species as well, which are really cool, which are intelligent, and it's great. So it has action, it's like military, and it's also human stories, because they are trapped in this other world. They've lost contact, and again, they're on destroyer ships, so there are only a few women, which is a problem, because they had picked up some nurses from during one of the evacuations of one of the islands there, you know. Anyway, I'm not explaining that very well, but there is trauma. There's stuff in there that goes. It's very good action adventure story, and I want to get back to these again. I said I've only read 4, and they were really good. I just need to continue on. I love a lot of the characters. It's a great ensemble cast kind of thing. And then the other one I want to continue is to read the next in the Lady Astronaut series. This is The Faded Sky, is number 2 novel-wise. The third one, which name just escaped me, is coming out I think in July or August, I can't remember. It's somewhere in the summer. So I'm hoping to pick up this one to finish this, and then maybe pick up the next book, but I think there's supposed to be a series of 4 books. I'm not positive, but I think she has another 2 coming out. So one's this year and one's maybe another year or 2 out. I don't remember, but I do want to continue it. I want to at least read this one this year, so at least I'm continuing that series. But since I've already pre-ordered the other one, I want to read that one. I'll want to read that one when it comes out too. Okay, and then the last 5 really, oh my god, I talk so much. The last 5 are the books the series I want to start this year. These are books that I've picked up over the last couple of years that I'm like, I need to read these. Actually, last couple of years. Yeah, I'm so bad, but these are all series I want to start. First one is a science fiction called Embers of War by Garth L. Powell. I don't remember the series name actually. But I think the last book, the 3rd book, is coming out in the next couple months, I think in February. So I wanted to start this. I've always wanted, I hate this library copy that I got online, but whatever, it'll work. If I love it, I'll get another copy. But anyway, this is the first book in the trilogy, and again, it has to do with the sentient starship or whatever, or you know, and I think they were in a war and it went really badly, and the ship wanted to be decommissioned from being a military ship. And then I don't, so then something happens, and then they're sent on a rescue mission, and that's about all I know. I don't know anything else. I heard some really good things about this series. I really want to get into this and try it. Sounds good to me. I want to try this mystery series, A Study in Scarlet Women by Sherry Thomas. I've heard really good things about this one. This is, again, kind of a Sherlock Holmes reimagining with Charlotte Holmes as our lead. And all I know is that, it's mysteries. I don't know anything else beyond that, actually. I have no idea. So I'm guessing it's still the right time period, like the late 1800s, but we'll see. I've heard really good things about this series, and I've always wanted to try this one, so that's why it's on the list. Another fantasy / alternate history kind of ish thing is Amberlow by Laura Elaine Donnelly. I bought this, I don't know, the year before last. I've been wanting to get to this again. This is like the 1920s. It's kind of like the 1920s Europe, but I think it's it's actually a different world. But I think it kind of has those themes of Art Deco and all that kind of stuff. But then there's spies and I think dancing girls and something else. I don't remember, but a lot of people have really liked it, and it sounds like a fun fantasy, something different, because that's kind of historical, but not really. Like, I'm not quite sure, but it looks good. I think this is also a trilogy, so if I like it, I'll continue. And then a trilogy that I almost own. I own 2 books in this series, and I have not started it, and that is Hot and Badgered by Shelley Lawrenson. This is a paranormal romance that has to do with badgers. I think wolves are also the changelings in here too. The Honey Badger Chronicles. So I know that the honey badgers are brutal and cruel, but they're just, I don't know. It was really funny. I read the first chapter a while ago. Like, I was going to read this. I don't remember what happened, or I read it online or something. But it's supposed, again, she wrote the I think it's the Call of Crows series, and that was just she writes super funny paranormal romance, so they're really ridiculous. Like, there's no realism here. This is totally, like, they're hilarious. They're funny. There does have the typical trauma, and there's action scenes and stuff, so I'm hoping for that, even though it looks like it's just, romance. But really, there's a whole lot of other stuff. Usually there's some kind of political stuff going on between the clans. And so this one, I'm pretty sure again, I think some honey badgers were found, and they were taken in by this other clan. But maybe they're bears. I don't know. I can't remember. Sorry, my phone is bleeping at me. Sorry. Anyway, I'm really hoping to start this series, because I have the first 2 already on my shelf, because I loved the Call of Crows so much. And I want to read this, and the 3rd book's coming out this year, and I already have it pre-ordered. So I really need to try this to see if I really want to pre-order that book. We'll see. And then the last one is what I'm hoping to do a buddy read with. And that is Anne Bishop and the Black Jewels trilogy. So this is a bind-up of the first 3 books in this world. I think that there are like 2 trilogies, and maybe something else is happening now. She has a new book. I'm not quite sure. But the Daughter of Blood, Heir of the Shadows, and Queen of the Darkness. And I don't really know a whole lot about this series. It's just epic fantasy. Again, I think this is from the 90s. I cannot remember to recall. The omnibus so late 90s, 98, 99, and 2000. So this bind-up came out in like 2003. So because I love Anne Bishop and I love the other series, I want to try some of her other stuff, and this epic fantasy is the one that calls me. So I might be doing this in February if anybody wants to read it as well. At least the first book. We'll see. I'm not sure how we're going to do the whole thing. Anyway, so that is all the series that I want to finish the series. I want to continue in the series or catch up or start series. So what are you guys' plans for this? I'm not doing the stacking the series by Sarah Steeped in Books. I really wanted to, but I decided that was too much structure for me. I'm just going to try to read what I can. I wanted to make sure I got some series that I do want to get to. This is easier for me this way, but I might still track it to see if I actually stack the series, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to do that. So anyway, that is everything. Are you guys reading any of these series? Are you think any of these I should pick up sooner rather than later on the new ones? What do you guys think? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.